Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Lancun's guide on how to and how not to be a voice actor on YouTube. Well, I suppose rule number one is the most obvious. Have talent and don't suck. If you show people your work and only your friends say it's good, that should tell you to reevaluate yourself in either your effort or your choice of hobby. Do not be hypocritical and say, please tell me what you think, and then immediately block anyone who doesn't say that you rule. Constructive criticism is there to tell you your shortcomings so that you can address them and improve, not so that you get your feelings hurt and then take your ball and run home. There's nothing worse than someone auditioning for your fandom, sucking so badly that it literally served only to waste your time, and to top it off, find out the person is insecure about the path they're so sure they belong on. Case in point, the prepubescent kids who audition for the roles of manly badasses like Solid Snake and Duke Nukem, when not even the voice of Meryl Silverberg would sound as effeminate as they do. Seriously guys, if your voice hasn't broken yet, I urge you to not do voice acting, or at least wait until after you've reached puberty. Number one, you're not going to have that big of a range, and number two, to top it off, you're going to be typecast, and that's going to frustrate you, and that's going to make you be embittered by it, and blah blah blah. It's just not the perfect time to be doing it if your voice hasn't broken yet, and you don't have a range other than, a somewhat butch little girl. Next up should also be obvious, but you see it way too often on YouTube. The people that decide, hey, let me audition, and then upload it to YouTube right away. First and foremost, I cannot stress how many auditions I have seen of people doing things one time, not even bother to check if it's good or not, and just upload it and expect to be great. If you're seriously tripping over a line in your audition, stop the recording, take a breath, and deliver it again. Don't just do one take, have it written with flaws, and expect to be cast. You have to be more professional than that, otherwise you're going to tell the voice director, hey, I'm going to be unprofessional, have screw-ups written all over the lines I'm going to send you. That's not going to fly, guys. Thirdly,
yeah, I'm going to do this fan dub, and I'm going to audition for it right now, so here I go.
the first thing you have to realize about voice acting is that you need to be a comfortable distance away from the mic. Don't salivate on your microphone. If you're salivating on your microphone, you're too close. You shouldn't be able to hear your breath resonating when you listen to your playback audition. The most notorious examples of this are when somebody is delivering a line that has a B or a P sound, when they're doing this B and P sound, and you hear this really bad static eruption. You don't want to be hearing that when you're speaking into a microphone. If you're on a stick mic, you're not going to have a whole lot of luck with this anyway. So get a decent headset like a lot of people on YouTube do. It makes it sound a lot more professional. It's a lot less grating to the ears. And now that the loud people are out of the way, let's get to the polar opposite, the quiet people who really whisper their lines and may actually be too far away from the microphone. And like I said, you need to be a comfortable distance away from the microphone. And if you're whispering your lines, either A, you're shy about your voice, and that's a big problem. Okay, number one, you have to have confidence in your voice. Or B, you're doing it when, you may have your parents around, and if you're going to be voice acting and it's going to be disturbing your family, try to do it at a time when they're not there. That's a big excuse that I do see a lot of people use, and it is a valid one. So find time that they aren't there so that you can express yourself a little bit more freely. It's, better than whispering your lines and sounding really timid. That's not going to fly. And this also leads me to my next point. The people that you do want to have in your fandom. Now, obviously, you do want people that are nice, humble about their work, but also very talented. Now, a lot of times you're going to have nice people who, don't have talent and really don't belong. I'm sorry, there's really no other way to describe them. Nice people, but they really shouldn't be doing this just because, they like anime and they like video games, and that by default makes them qualified to voice act. It doesn't. You require a certain amount of breathing, you require a certain amount of, practice with your voice range, you require the ability to scream out when you need to, because there are going to be times that you do that. So the nice people that really don't have any talent, good people, but the people that should kind of stay on the sidelines and watch it. And this leads me to what I think is the most important attribute of a voice actor to be. Confidence. You need the confidence to be believable in the things you say. If you're in a scene where somebody's, dying and you're watching that person die, you have to literally sound terrified, and you have to sometimes animate yourself and move in certain ways that your character may be moving in, just to, find yourself get into character, and it makes it easier to express yourself. Now, I suppose the best thing to take away from this little rant, so to speak, is that if you're a voice actor hopeful here on YouTube, the number one no-no is having auditions for a fan dub and accepting only your friends for the major parts. This is highly unprofessional, and I have seen cases where this takes place. Here's the golden rule. If you want to have a successful fan dub, find the best people for the job, not your favorite people. It's a big problem if you find yourself working with only your friends, because the best voice actors here don't work in packs. Don't confuse making friends while voicing as having friends voice with you. The former is quite common and a good sign that the path of voice actor may be for you. And the latter is a case of the territorial weeaboos who think they have so much more talent than everybody else. In short, the absolute worst people for the job of voice actor. Thus concludes episode 1 of Land's Guide on Do's and Don'ts of Voice Acting. Did you notice if any of this stuff was basic common sense? If you did, then congratulations! You're in the 25% of YouTube's voice acting community that actually has the potential to take this hobby somewhere professionally. If not, and you're thus in the other 75%, I at least hope you learned something.